there. On Thursday, the Resolutions Committee said that they should do that. The DNC even rejected that idea. They rejected a specific debate on this issue, and then they rejected the idea that they could even be on the same stage talking about this one issue, even in a town hall event. Now, we disagree. We're gonna show you how you can make this become a reality in a second. Look, we're stepping up. A lot of people have reached out to us since then saying, can you guys do the town hall? The answer is yes. Now, the only thing preventing us from doing the town hall, honestly, is money. So you got to put together a huge venue, enough to fit the candidates. You got to invite all the candidates. You got to bring great moderators, and I think we can do all of the above. Our issue is always resources.
It's not just the candidates. I mean, at the very least, that's not just your issue. The issue is the DNC itself. TYT ran, I think this was a few years ago, trying to get reporters. And they said, we're going to have reporters scouring the globe. We're going to have progressive news everywhere. It's going to have reporters. We need you to give us $2 million. Resources was the only issue. And they did. They got reporters for 1 year. I guarantee you that people who gave that money didn't think that they were going to bring reporters on and only keep them there for 1 year. And here we are again. This time, it's debates. The DNC forbade debates, forbade them on the issue of climate. Not just formal debates, but even informal debates on issues of climate. What they're talking about can't be candidates, at least by definition of candidates from the same point of the election. It has to be candidates, whatever that means in that context, from something else. That does not make sense. I'll explain what I mean. I'll explain what I mean. Young Turks trying to get $200,000 from its audience. Here we are again. Welcome to the Soapbox. My name is Jamarl Thomas. This is the Progressive Soapbox. Guys, if you dig this content, find yourself coming back to this channel often, please like, share, subscribe. You can also support this content through PayPal or Patreon. I apologize, I'm a little stuffy today, and it is affecting essentially me greatly. The Young Turks. So the Young Turks, like I said, reporters, $2 million, yada yada, no reporters. And, whether the $2 million went to the reporters or not, who knows? And now the DNC turns down the climate debate. Now, what they're talking about is people were pushing, particularly the Sunrise Movement, for a debate. We want a debate on climate. We want a debate on climate. This is an existential threat, and we should talk about it. An asteroid is going to hit the planet. Don't you think that part of the democratic discourse should be, what is the policy we're going to take to avert that asteroid that is going to devastate our planet? Tom Perez said, no. Now, does that have anything to do with Tom Perez accepting lobbyist money from oil and gas? Who knows? Oil and gas lobbyist was the first person to speak in opposition to having that particular debate. The campaigns were on board. Joe Biden's campaign ended up not being on board with Simone Sanders, the one who used to work for Bernie Sanders, no relation, said this.
I do think we have to think about the other folks that communicated they wanted a debate, that were told a debate is 2 or more people, and so you may not have a debate, but you can in fact have a forum. And we support forums, but I think this is dangerous territory in the middle of a Democratic primary process. And if we do, I absolutely support Christine's point about perhaps we should chop up our platform and our debate.
That's amazing. She used to work for Sanders. Dangerous territory. I'm unsure what's so dangerous about it. Perhaps it is dangerous for her candidate. And the last thing she wants is Joe Biden to be tested. Meaning she's okay with Joe Biden being in a forum where nobody can really say anything to him, but not necessarily on stage with somebody else where somebody can essentially say, Joe, something is wrong with your platform. Something is wrong with your opinion. I don't want my candidate looking bad. Ergo, she gets out here and says we should not have a climate debate, despite the fact that it is going to devastate our planet. It's going to devastate our planet. Uyghur sees this, not one to pass up a business opportunity, comes out with this video saying, hey, we'll do a climate debate. We'll do it. We'll take it on. Problem. There were 2 votes. One vote gutted any notion of a climate debate at all held by the party itself that was legitimately linked to the party. The second one, this notion of an informal resolution where somebody else has it, that was even struck down. That was struck down 227 to 137. I want to read a part to you because just to make the point. Democratic National Committee delegates in San Francisco voted against allowing candidates to participate in a primary debate focused on climate, per Mercury News, in a contentious 227-137 vote that comes amid ongoing devastation in the Amazon rainforest and growing evidence that scientists have underestimated the pace at which the world is warming. Top DNC officials shot down the idea of holding an official debate earlier this week. The vote was separate and decided whether the party would change its rules to allow candidates to participate in an unsanctioned third-party debate without risking consequences. Protesters interrupted the meeting, shouting, "We can't wait," and failure of leadership, according to Mercury News. I hope you get that. Unsanctioned debates are also disallowed. This vote essentially said you cannot have an unsanctioned debate on climate. Now, Uyghur in the video, now that you know that, said, let's look at this again.
Sorry, I just want a clarification there. On Thursday, the Resolutions Committee said that they should do that. The DNC even rejected that idea. They rejected a specific debate on this issue, and then they rejected the idea that they could even be on the same stage talking about this one issue, even in a town hall event. Now, we disagree. We're going to show you how you can make this become a reality in a second.
What do you disagree about? What do you disagree about? That there should be a debate on climate? Or do you disagree with the Rules Committee of the DNC that said that they can't have this unsanctioned debate? Whether you agree or not, I don't, it's like that doesn't entirely make sense. The DNC Rules Committee said we can't have sanctions debates, and Cenk Uygur said, I disagree. Now, what he may be talking about is we disagree about the climate debate itself, meaning we are going to put on the climate debate if we can raise $200,000. When you read the page that is accepting the money of the people, it says something slightly different. He moderates it. Despite the pressing nature of the climate issues facing Americans today, the DNC has recently declined requests for a Democratic primary debate focused on climate. To bring much needed attention to the pivotal issue of climate, TYT is raising funds to host a climate town hall debate. The town hall, which will feature political leaders of national prominence, will send a clear message to the DNC. Climate change is a pivotal issue for voters in 2020 primary and general election. Donate now to help us host this important event. So, in the video, they say candidates. On the page itself, they say political leaders of national prominence. What I will say is that doesn't make sense. What I mean is, it makes sense if the candidates do a debate on climate. Fair enough. But those candidates are running in a race, and you're trying to figure out what does this candidate think about this particular issue before we put this person in that office. It's not a debate for the sake of a debate. The point is, we want candidates who represent our issues. And in order to know what those issues are, meaning in order to get an idea on how one issue relates to another, the goal is to have a debate on this issue to sort out which one you want the most, which one you like the best. That's the point of the debate. It's not for a thing into itself. TYT running a debate on climate, I am uncertain on point of this. If I'm being bluntly honest, I mean, for the most part, you're talking to lefties. You're talking to this particular, what they call themselves, quote unquote, home of the home of the progressives. Everyone in the debate is most likely going to be a lefty. And again, I ask this kind of basic question of what is the point of this? Seeing as you're not having quote unquote candidates, you're just having people who are in politics talk or debate. But these people aren't getting elected, so who cares about what their opinion is? And again, from the standpoint of the left has a certain perspective of the environment. And the fact that you're having this debate in and of itself gets across the left's perspective of the environment. It would be weird if you had a debate in order to what? To what end? To hash out what is already, for the most part, an agreement on the left that this issue is important. The point was to get candidates who represented a particular issue and to have those candidates debate one another to hash out to the public what these guys believe. That is off the table. What you are doing is something else. And I have no idea what that something else is or even the point of that something else other than to get you guys $200,000. I mean, come on. Am I wrong? I mean, am I being too harsh? What is the point of this? What's the point of this? Not to mention, you said candidates in the video. They're not candidates. They're definitely running a scam. Candidates are not allowed to have debates. Yes. Thanks for covering this. O.B. Alfred. Yeah. I don't understand what he is talking about. I mean, am I wrong? Let's do the video again. I mean, they moderate it in the bottom, but he clearly on this channel says candidates.
About an existential threat.
Yeah, sorry, I just want a clarification there. On Thursday, the Resolutions Committee said that they should do that. The DNC even rejected that idea. They rejected a specific debate on this issue, and then they rejected the idea that they could even be on the same stage talking about this one issue, even in a town hall event. Now, we disagree. We're going to show you how you can make this become a reality in a second. Look, we're stepping up. A lot of people have reached out to us since then saying, can you guys do the town hall? The answer is yes. Now, the only thing preventing us from doing the town hall, honestly, is money. So you got to put together a huge venue, enough to fit the candidates. You got to invite all the candidates. You got to bring great moderators.
Yeah, he did say candidates. Unless, again, he means candidates in the sense of, I guess, candidates who are going to debate. It's just weird. It's just weird. So I'll leave it here. I mean, just giving a heads up of what is taking place. People were eager to give them cash on this. And it's like, but who's debating and what are they debating and why? To what end? What are you getting out of this from the standpoint of a debate? You're going to say, yes, it's an existential issue. Yes, it's a big deal. Yes, a planet is, asteroid is about to hit the planet. But none of the people are trying to get elected. And so it's like the opinion of various people who are supposedly on the left are for the most part relatively going to be the same in the sense of, yes, we think it's a really big deal. The issue was most of the candidates having Joe Biden to defend his middle of the road position, having Warren to express whatever her position is on climate, and Sanders to express their position, and have that stuff clash. There is variety among the candidates in regards to climate. It's not all one thing. So it's one thing to hear the candidates do it. That makes sense. But I don't know who TYT is bringing. And the DNC has absolutely strictly forbade these guys in being in an unsanctioned debate. What is TYT doing? And why do they need $200,000? And where is the $20 million that Katzenberg gave? And why can't they use part of that $20 million to put on this? For that matter, are they getting paid afterwards? Meaning, is this going to be a milking venture? Like, however they do the venue, are they going to be able to make cash off of this particular endeavor? There are all sorts of questions for this one, but it sounds like it's not candidates, it's just Democrats or just political leaders. And I guess I'm not sure why that matters, if that makes sense. I'm not sure why there's value in this. There's value in it if they could get the actual candidates, yes. But is there really value in this where you would give them $200,000 just to have random Democrats give their perspective of climate? I don't think so, but maybe their audience does. I'll leave it here. Like, share, subscribe. See you guys this evening.